As an online tutor, it is important for you to know some practical tips that you would use to teach online. So today we're going to be looking at practical tips or practical ideas you could use to teach students online. I usually tell people that the learning span of an online learner is 15 minutes. Yes, 15 minutes. And after 15 minutes, they begin to get easily distracted. So today we're going to be looking at how we can keep them engaged and focus till the end of their classes. Just in case this is your first time joining this channel, my name is Miss Blessing and this is iTeach with Miss B. Okay, so today we're going to be looking at some practical tips, and the first one I want to share with you all is structure. Okay, have a structure and keep your lessons simple. When I mean keep your lessons simple, you could start with your introduction. Your introduction could be a video. Your introduction could be you asking them how they're doing. Your introduction could be anything that gets their attention. So try to get their attention within the first few minutes of the classroom or the class learning time. Okay, get their attention and keep it. Okay, it's one thing to get their attention; it's another thing to keep it. So keep your lessons simple. Remember, you're teaching for the span of 1 hour or 1 hour 30 minutes. The highest you will teach is 2 hours, but usually is 1 hour. That 1 hour you want the child to get something or gain something, so you have to try your best to deliver within that 1 hour. When I mean deliver, I'm not saying you should teach everything. No, you could teach in bits, but the bits that you're teaching should be the child should be able to get something and go home with it. Okay, that is you creating a structure. So you could start with the intro, you go on to revision of the previous class or review of the previous class, and then you go on to teaching what you have for the day, and then activities. Like I say, your learning percentage should be 20%, and then the child's ability to do work should be like 80%. That means you're keeping them actively engaged. Okay. The second one I want to share with you today is engagement. Okay, I said a bit of it in the first video or in the first part. Now this is very important. Engagement. Try to keep your students engaged, get them engaged, ask question. How are you doing? How is the work going? Don't just give them a work and then you leave them, keep quiet, they're working and you're quiet. No, ask how is it going. Okay, the more the children can communicate with you or the students can communicate with you, the more they build trust. Okay, communication builds trust. So try to get them to communicate with you, try to get them engaged. There was a teacher that complained to me once that said her child does not like talking in class, and all he does is write. He likes to chat but he doesn't like to talk. I said no. In as much as chatting is okay, sometimes the reason why we get them to engage is so that they could be able to express themselves. When they have questions, they can ask the question. That's why you're there as an online tutor. You don't have the whole day with them. You have just maybe a few minutes or few hours with them. So that within that time frame, you should be able to get them to talk with you, okay, or talk to you. All right. A practical tip I would share is gamification. Yes, very important, gamification. However, recently people are beginning to frown at it because the children we have these days are too addicted to screen, or they are too relaxed with screen. And then when it gets to when they're supposed to do a particular task, if they don't see games and all that, they're not excited. However, as an online tutor, you should be able to know where to balance it. So you could finish teaching, and maybe towards the end of the class, maybe 5, 10 minutes, you use it to bring in games to refresh what you guys have done in the class. That is another way to keep them engaged. Okay. Another thing I would say is use your eyes and gestures. Very important. Please always turn on your cameras as an online tutor. Please, your camera should not be turned off. Look at the child. Okay, there should be eye contact. Very important, eye contact. Because sometimes if your camera is on, the child might be feeling like they're just talking to anybody or talking to the atmosphere, and then they are easily distracted. But when you are looking at them, they know when to arrange themselves. They know what you're doing. They know what to do at that particular point in time, and they will hardly get distracted because they know that you can see them when they are distracted. Okay, even sometimes, even with the camera on, they can be distracted. Sometimes you're teaching the child and the child is looking at you. You think the child is in class, but the child has gone. Stay thinking about something. Maybe the rice the mother is cooking or something. Try to always get their attention. Are you with me? Do you understand? What did I say? Can you retell what we've explained? Stuff like that is going to make them remember or come back to you for each time that they want to stray away in their minds. Okay. So, like I said, keep them engaged. And I know that if you watched this point, you're actually learning something new, right? So please click on the like, subscribe, and share button, and also turn on the notification. So every time I post a video, you get to receive it first hand here. Okay. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is you being consistent with tools. Be consistent with your tools, your teaching tools. Don't come today and then you're using a different tool. Don't come tomorrow and then you're using another tool that will get the child confused. I would even always suggest the OneNote. In the subsequent video, you're going to see where I'm going to explain some tools some edtech tools that you could use to teach as an online tutor. That is going to help them. In as much as you tell them write in their physical notebook, they should also have a physical notebook where they write. But in as much as they have that, they should have an online notebook where they could store this information and go back to it anytime that they want to. Okay, that they could go back to it whenever they want to. So it is very important that as an online tutor, you know how to keep your students with you. Okay, communication is key, engagement is key. Do not just come to class and let the class be boring. No, flow with them. So I had a student who, when she joined me, she was really, really quiet. But with time, I gave her the room to air her views, talk to me, whatever the problem was. And then she could even tell me some things that were going on in school that her parents were not even aware of. This is somebody in the US. So I've never met her before physically, but we were able to connect. And I've been teaching her for a long time. And she was able to pass her SAT exams in the US. So what I'm saying is try to build connection with your students. And these practical tips, I hope you've learned. It's going to keep your classes interesting and interactive. In the subsequent videos, I'm going to be listing some games, like I said, gamification tools that you could use, like Kahoot and the rest of them. I'm going to list them and how you can use them in your classroom. Thank you for watching to this point. Please do like, subscribe, share. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.